Hello and welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. My name is Leah. I'm the creator behind Thrifty Day. Today's episode is going to be a haul, and I also want to show you what I'm currently working on, what collection is in the works, and also what collection is coming next. So this is going to be a jam-packed episode, just lots of fun stuff, just kind of updates. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is what I'm currently working on. And what I am currently working on is my Sunshine Day collection. This collection is exclusively over on Patreon. All of my Patreon information is linked below. I do believe most spaces are filled, but it is good to check because you never know how people move around throughout the month. And sometimes I do hope at some point to open more spots. So all that information is linked. What you are looking at now, though, is the journal that I am making as the current journal for this month, which is December, over on Patreon. It has a very vintage Snow White theme. I'm using all vintage Snow White book pages. Those are all authentic book pages. There are no photocopies. All of the pages in the journals are mostly vintage. There are no photocopies of any kind. The only non-vintage pages in the journals are the double-sided cardstock, which I purchased at Joann's. And I believe there's also maybe some writing paper that probably isn't vintage. But other than that, it's a mix of vintage sheet music, vintage book pages, vintage ledger paper, some hankies, just lots of really fun stuff. I also love those tabs that are on the side. They're so dreamy and bright. That particular vintage Snow White book is my favorite. It's very 70s. It's very bright and cheery. And so I wanted my journals to reflect that. I, of course, have that big apple in there because, you know, Snow White. And I have this beautiful lace elastic band. They will all have that, and metal corners. It's a fabric journal. It's a wonderful size. I love how bright and cheery they are. I wanted them to be eclectic and vintage and just all of the good things that get your inspirational juices flowing. And the next part of my Patreon this month for Sunshine Day is the ephemera packs. And this is a sample of the ephemera pack. I'm already packing them up, so I apologize that they're in cellophane if there's if it's kind of hard to see. But again, lots of vintage elements, vintage playing cards, vintage book pages, vintage fabric that match the journal, vintage yarn. That's another bit of lots of fabric goodness. That recipe card is a digital, but it is a vintage recipe card from my own collection. And everyone will get an upcycled vintage Snow White book page tag. And so I'm going to show you a few that I'm currently working on. I have about 25 made right now, and I think I need to make about 30 more. So they are all authentic vintage book pages, and I am loving how they are coming out. They're all very eclectic and cute. I'm using rickrack and pom-poms and puffballs and flowers, and that is vintage lace trim on the top. My daughter actually came into my studio yesterday and said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, I love these ornaments. I want to put them all over my tree." And I said, "Oh, well, they aren't really intended to be ornaments, but I guess they would be really cute ornaments. I intended them to be tags for your journal. But you could also, I guess they double as ornaments. So aren't they super fun? They would be really fun on a Christmas tree, I think. So thank you, Lizzie. That was a great idea. So I'm loving how they're coming out. I have many more coming. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see sneak peeks. I'm posting them all over my stories because I am just sort of obsessed. This is very much my vibe. Homemade, bright, vintage, and Snow White is my absolute favorite theme. So this theme is straight from the heart because it is very much all of my favorite things in 1 month. If you have any questions about Patreon, just leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek. I will have more on my other platforms over on TikTok, Instagram, and here on my shorts. So let's get into the haul. I bought a ton of goodies. I've already started using that pom-pom trim. You saw that on some of the tags I was just showing you. But these are the colors I chose. This beautiful sort of Pepto-Bismol pink. I can't think of a better way to describe it. This beautiful minty sort of aqua green, blue green. This very 70s orange. Orange and yellow are my favorite colors. So, oh my gosh, that orange was perfect. And then this perfect Kelly green. My last name is Green. I'm always drawn to green. So I love those, and I'm already currently using those. They're beautiful colors. I think they look great together, and I got them specifically for the tags that I just showed you. So love those. The next bit of goodies I purchased was a lot of rickrack. A lot. And I will show you why I bought so much rickrack very soon. But right now, let me just show you the colors. And in case you were wondering, I got all of these trims and fabrics from a store called M&L, and it is in Southern California. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry, they do not have an online store. They're a very old-fashioned sort of family-owned fabric store, fabric warehouse. And they do not have an online presence, but they are amazing. So if you're in Southern California, M&L Fabrics. So these are all the colors I chose, and I was going for bright. I do plan to use some of these on the tags I was just showing you for this month also. But I also have a very specific reason I bought all of these. This one actually is my very favorite. It's not as bright. It's kind of a muted orange. It's more of a peach. That's it compared to the bright orange, but I loved it. And my other favorite was this sort of mustard yellow. These colors just scream the 70s to me. And I'm a 70s girl. I was born in the 70s. I love the 70s. I love the style. I love the illustrations. I love everything. So this is a beautiful magenta, and this is just a really fun limey sort of green. So I loved all these colors. I loved them together. Bright was the name of the game, and I think I really nailed it. I love these colors. So those are all the rickrack choices that I purchased. And the next little bit are actually for my Sunshine Day collection that I just showed you. It's elastic lace, and I'm using these all for the closures of the journals that I just showed you. I also still have some. I have bright teal and a couple other colors. So these are just the 3 I restocked to use for those journal covers. I love using elastic lace as journal covers. So now let's get into the fabric. I have lots of beautiful fabric that I purchased. I'm so excited. The name of the game was Bright, but let me set those ones aside and let me show you, yes, I did buy Christmas. Now, many of you might be saying, you don't look like you're working on anything Christmas right now. I'm not. I got these for next year. Yes, I am that person. But how could I pass that up? Those cute little houses. Look at these little Santa teddy bears. This is so my vibe. I had to get them. Bought the Santa teddy bears. The next, yellow snowman. You can never find yellow Christmas. Yellow is one of my favorite colors. Oh my gosh. This would have been my journal this year if I would have found it. So maybe next year. So I did purchase these. I did purchase them for next year. So if you are still with me and hanging on next year, you will see these in journals next year. I had to grab them. You have to grab them when you see them, especially at a fabric warehouse, because once it's gone, it's gone. It's not like they restock these things. So let's get into these beautiful bright fabrics. I purchased all of these fabrics with next month in mind. Next month, my theme on Patreon is Golden Afternoon. And golden it will be. This is a huge stack of little golden books that I will be turning into journals. So next month, Golden Afternoon is the theme on Patreon. I'm very excited. That's why I bought all the bright rickrack and all of this bright fabric. If you can't hear it in my voice, I am so excited because I love vintage books. I love bright colors. This is going to be such a fun month. This is one of my favorites right on the top to me. It screams Golden Afternoon. It's that beautiful bright Kelly green. It's floral, yellows, oranges, all the right colors. This next one is beautiful because it is exactly that, just golden. This is all they had of it. It wasn't even a yard, but it's definitely enough to make a few journals. And I am super excited because how pretty are those colors? I've purchased this floral print before. I love it. To me, it goes hand in hand with really pretty, soft little golden books. It has beautiful roses. It's the right colors. I was excited that they had that, and I was able to restock. This is a really pretty pink one. As you can tell, everything is bright pinks, bright greens, bright yellows, bright oranges. I really just wanted the Golden Afternoon collection to be just that, golden. And these are really beautiful. I think these are two of my favorites, this limey green and this bright pink. I just think that they're very unique. And can you imagine them with some of that really bright rickrack trimmed? I don't know. I just think they're very unique. And I'm somebody who likes very different color combinations, maybe color combinations you wouldn't think of. So these two really got my inspirational juices flowing. So I'm very excited for those two particular patterns, especially that pink one. Darn it. Ooh, even looking at it now on the screen. I love it, love it, love it. This one was a very Golden Afternoon moment with those beautiful tulips, bright and cheery, and I'm excited to put this on a spine and decorate a journal. This particular fabric, I'm not even sure if I'll use in the Golden Afternoon collection, but it was so unique. The colors were so beautiful. They're like little houses on hills. If I don't use them in the Golden Afternoon collection, and this is all they had, I don't even know if they're going to ever have it again. This will definitely be on a future journal for myself, for my personal journal, because it's so unique. And I am just all about something very, very unique. So I purchased that because I just had to. Sometimes you just see fabric and you have to have it. And this one, absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at those tiny little flowers, dainty, sweet. Just, I had to have it. So I'm very excited. Those are all the fabrics I purchased. Let me know which one is your favorite, which one you are drawn to, if you also like the bright colors or if you're more of a muted color kind of gal. I'm all about just being loud and proud with my journals. I just think they're really fun to add bright colored spine, especially on a little golden book, because little golden books are just so nostalgic. So since next month is Little Golden Afternoon, these are the little golden books that I have reserved to create into journals for next month. So I just thought I'd give you a sneak peek. Many are damaged, many are written in, many are in rough shape, but that's the way I love them. I feel very strongly that many of these books probably would have ended up in a landfill. And instead of that happening, I think it will be so neat to recreate, add a beautiful bright colored spine, decorate it, and turn it into an heirloom. And so many of these are from the 70s and 80s. Some of them date all the way back to the mid 40s. I think the Snow White one is one that was from the early 40s. But I just, as you can see, there's some of them have some paint smears. Some of them have writing. Some of them, the covers are falling off. But they're all still so beautiful. They have so much beauty and so much left to give. And so we as creators, we as memory keepers can take these books and really make them into something important and precious again. Oh my gosh, look at this cover. All my years, I'm not even sure if I've seen a back like that. And I love when you open up and there are different colors inside. So some of these are really quite old and some of them are a little bit more new, but I'm very excited for the Golden Afternoon collection. I do have a few books like this very old little kitten one that may be not salvageable in terms of the cover. There's too much writing, but we shall see. We'll see if I can get some of that crayon off the cover. But bedtime stories, look at how sweet. See, it's a little bit ripped. There's damage, but I'm telling you, these books still have a lot of life to give. This one is even taped up, but I'm still going to find a way to use each and every one of these books, if not as an actual journal in the Golden Afternoon collection, as part of the ephemera packs in the Golden Afternoon collection. So once again, if you have any questions about Patreon, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm doing my best to stay on top of comments, so thank you to everyone who's leaving questions, and I apologize if it takes me a bit long. This isn't a little golden book. It's like I think they're called like Be Happy books or something, or Happy Day books, but they're in the little golden book vibe. So I am still going to use these in the Golden Afternoon collection because look at these images. Oh my word. They are so beyond precious. So there's a few of those Happy Day books mixed in as well. This is an old Peter Pan. I do hope to have more spaces available for Patreon next month, so be sure to keep checking back. All of that information is linked below. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much for all your lovely comments. And if you are new, be sure to introduce yourself so I can give you a hello. And so we can get to know each other. Look at that Robin Hood. Oh my gosh. These colors, so beautiful and so bright. And out of all these books, be sure to let me know which one is your favorite. I have to say, I think the dogs one is my favorite. I love dogs though. In fact, the best news ever, it looks like my foster dog has a home. We're going through the process now, and it looks like he's going to be adopted and home by Christmas. Can I get some applause for my sweet foster boy? But I will say I'm going to miss his sweet little face. But there's always another dog who needs a foster home, so we will be happy to reopen up our home again. So anyway, that's just a bit of good news I thought I'd share with all of you here. This particular little golden book is really old, and it's one of those that has like several stories in one book. So yeah, I'm very excited. Let me know which one is your favorite. I do try to share a lot of behind the scenes and sneak peeks over on my Instagram stories. Any information regarding future drops also drops first on my Instagram stories. I also have a TikTok where I do try to share a lot of mass make videos and what's coming next video. So there's different content on all of my different platforms. So if you wanted to give me a follow on any other platform, feel free to check out the description box below, because I have tried to show and leave links so that we can connect wherever you might be present. So those are most of the books. I do have to say I am going to a big book sale on Saturday, so I may add more. But for now, that is what I will have available in my Golden Afternoon collection. This was my haul. I hope you guys all really enjoyed this kind of a video. It was really fun to make. I love showing you what I'm working on. And if you are on my Patreon, remember I go live 3 times a week so we can chat and get to know each other. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like. I hope you were inspired. I hope you have time to journal, and I hope you have a great holiday. Thanks for watching. Bye.